Hi, Bios team, and welcome to the admin panel training for Biobank. Before we jump into the functionality on the admin panel, I want to take a step back and talk about three items. First, the purpose of the admin panel. The purpose of the admin panel is to track or monitor and review data from your Biobank participants. The Biobank admin panel tracks your website data. Second, the environments on Eureka. There are three that I will be discussing. I'm giving this training using what we call our multi-branch or testing website. Since the Biobank website is connected to MyChart, we have the website in what you can think of as a preliminary test environment. And you can identify this preliminary test environment by the URL. The URL, as I currently have highlighted, has multi-branch as well as .hhtech.io. And the URL denotes that we are in the multi-branch testing environment with this NB and then this also hhtech.io. Once the Biobank website is in our actual stage environment, the URL will change and it will say biobank.hhtech.io. And once the website is on the stage environment, you'll be able to test the website on that stage environment prior to it going into the live environment. And then also you will be able to demo that stage environment indefinitely moving forward. After the Biobank website is on the stage or testing environment, then once it passes the testing process, it will proceed to the live environment, which will have an entirely different URL, and it'll say biobank.eurekaplatform.org. So you'll receive a new link when the study is on the stage environment, and it will say biobank.hhtech.io. And then you'll receive yet another link when the study is on the live environment, and that'll say biobank.eurekaplatform.org. Now, for each environment, we also have a admin panel associated with the website. So right now we're on the multi-branch website, and if I go ahead and remove that /admin, and I just have the URL without the admin component, I will proceed to the website. If I add back in that /admin, I am now on the admin panel for the multi-branch website. And the same holds true for when we go to stage in the live environment. The stage website for Biobank will be biobank.hhtech.io. The stage admin panel associated with that website will be biobank.hhtech.io /admin. And again, same for the live environment. The live environment's URL will be biobank.eurekaplatform.org. The admin panel for the live website will be biobank.eurekaplatform.org /admin. Okay, the last item I wanted to review is if this is your first time looking at the admin panel, then instead of logging in, what you need to do is actually request an admin account. So all admins must request an admin account using the Request Admin Account button. You'll go ahead and create your admin user, so you'll fill out this information. You'll click on Continue to Request. You will be asked to download and set up the two-factor authentication through Duo on your smartphone. After you have completed your account request, you will have to wait to be approved by your study manager, and study managers will receive an additional training on how to approve admin accounts. Each time that you log in to your admin account, you'll be prompted by Duo to certify the login by responding to a push message. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with a test admin user that I created. Just to help demo the admin panel. The password's a little complicated. I'm having a hard time getting it down. There we go. Okay, and so now I'm going to select send me a push. I'm going to receive a push notification on my phone. I'm going to approve that, and now I have the admin panel open. So your specific admin role might look a little different depending on the needs of your site and what you're allowed to have access to. I obviously have access to quite a number of features here, but for the generic admin panel role, you will have access to participants, reports, as well as messages and settings. The Participants tab allows you to see basic user information. You can edit a user's profile. You can track their progress through the website. The Reports tab allows you to see participant responses to survey questions, as well as check the status of my chart integration. And you can also track participant recruitment through the reports. The Messages tab provides a high-level overview of all the messages that are configured for Biobank. And the Settings tab allows admin users to see what referrals have been configured for your study. If you are a study manager, you'll also have access to this Admins tab, where you'll be able to edit and manage admin users on your study admin accounts. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started by clicking on Participants. And here we see a number of things. First, we have a search bar where you can search ID, name, email, and additional items. You have the total number of users, active users, a breakdown of the consented users, and confirmed users. We also have a table here, and on the left-hand side of the column, we have participant or Eureka ID, participant's name, their email, their date of birth, whether or not they are an active participant in Biobank, whether or not they have consented or signed that DocuSign consent, the date that they have consented, whether or not they have confirmed their email address. And on the Eureka platform, confirming your email address is not required, so this is a tab that you can go ahead and just not put too much attention into at this time. Handoff is a feature that allows a study admin user to jump into the participant's account. I will say that in terms of the handoff tool, I would shy away from using it. I would say one of the only reasons to use the handoff tool is if your participant is experiencing some type of bug that they are trying to explain and is really confusing, and the only way for you to help identify it is by jumping into their account and seeing what they're seeing. So I would, again, shy away from using the handoff tool, unless absolutely necessary. This change log you can also go ahead and ignore for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and migrate back to the participant or Eureka column, and I'm just going to select a random participant, and I'm going to select their Eureka ID number. And what we see here is that by clicking on the Eureka ID in this area up top, you can update a participant's name or email. And this is typically done in the event of a typo during registration. You can also change a participant's password. Participants can change their own password on the Eureka website, but sometimes it is easier to help participants directly and share that new password with them. To make a change to name, email, or password, type it into the correct field and then scroll down and select Save at the bottom. We also have here date of birth and UCSF MRN number. Again, if you do make any changes here, make sure you save those. Okay, next we're going to go to the top right-hand corner where we see 2 checkboxes. And hovering over the tooltips, you can see what each checkbox is for. Again, email confirmed. We do not require Eureka participants to confirm their email. So it is very rare that you'll see a participant marked as email confirmed. The second checkbox is how you can mark a participant as a test user. Only mark participants as test users if you truly know they are indeed test users. By marking someone as a test user, this filters the user out of study maintenance reports and study data exports. It also prevents study messages from being sent to those participants. Currently, as I mentioned, we're in this preliminary stage environment where we are testing. You do not need to mark your test users as tests because it is implied. However, when you migrate to the live environment, please make sure that you do mark your test users as tests. Otherwise, it can skew your data. If you do mark a test user as test, make sure you also click Save. In the box labeled Status, you can hover over the tooltips to learn about the different statuses a participant can have. Most participants will be in this active status. If someone wishes to withdraw from participation, you will update the radio button to Withdrawn, and then scroll down and hit Save. No need to do anything in this consent area. I'll demonstrate where to find a participant's consent in a moment. And the final box that we have here is the referral box. Every participant in Biobank will be enrolled most likely through the BIOS website or MyChart. So you will probably see one of these referrals assigned to their name. Okay, the last box here is a box that says verification code. And this isn't used for the Biobank website, so you can actually go ahead and disregard that. Okay, let's go ahead and navigate back to the full list of participants. I'm going to go ahead and click on participants on the top right hand. Okay, so now we're back here looking at the participants view, and I'm going to find the participant that I was just looking at. I'm going to click on the participant's name. By clicking on the participant's name, the participant's individual profile is loaded. The first tab is Basic Info, and we see the participant's contact information. We can also see how and if they've consented. And an e-consent is a consent where the participant just hits agree or disagree. And DocuSign is used when a full signature is required. Both e-consent and DocuSign consents can be downloaded from this admin panel. So if I clicked on this download button, the participant's DocuSign consent appears. Okay, going back, let's click on the Activity tab. So the second tab is the Activity tab, and this tab outlines where a participant is in the study. Our system groups activities again by e-visits. So e-visit 1 is the first collection of activities or the baseline visit. By clicking on the blue text or the section name, you'll see an accordion style drop down of all the activities within the section. A gray circle means that the activity is open. A green check mark means that the activity has been completed, and a red X means that the activity has expired. For this participant, you can see that the circles are grayed out, which means that the activities are open. Okay, that is all here. Let's go ahead and click on Messages. The Messages tab holds a log of all messages sent to participants. In the Biobank website, participants could get email messages, and what I have selected here is the message that went out to this participant on 12/21 as an email, and that was the Biobank welcome email. And you can see that it has a status of sent. If I click on the Messages in the Queue tab, Messages in the Queue shows a list of messages that the participant may receive if the right conditions are met. The Messages in the Queue page is cryptic and could be a training video on its own. It is mostly used for troubleshooting. So the one area that I'm going to point out is all the way towards the right, and it's this to be sent column. With knowledge of the study's message configuration and using the to be sent column, you can check in on when this participant will get their next message. So I can see that the participant received their welcome message on 12/21, and they are scheduled to receive their reminder message, which will be sent after 7 days if they don't complete the My Chart connection activity or integration activity on 12/28. Again, this area is cryptic, and we don't expect most coordinators to need to be able to interpret this fully. So now I'm going to jump over to the Messages tab